No, not only do you have to take care of the kids and make sure that they get the attention and everything they need, you also have to worry about raising money so that you can do the main job. And
Right.
I can well imagine some days are like, oh God, why is this so hard?
I've really been blessed, and I don't really think of this one. I mean, I started this PAL from scratch. So I did work the first 2 years here at PAL for no salary or anything. I was fortunate enough that my wife was able to, support the family and everything. So this is not my job. This is my life and my legacy.
This interview episode is brought to you by Tyree Off-Road. Lights for people that need to get shit done. Visit tyreeoffroad.com right now. That's TYRI offroad.com. Hi, boys and girls. It's time for another Jeep Talk Show interview. We're going to be talking with Noel, and he is a visionary leader and driving force behind Martin County PAL, where he serves as executive director with heart rooted in service and passion for empowering youth. Noel left behind a successful career in landscaping to answer a deeper calling, transforming lives through membership and athletics. Under his guidance, PAL has become dynamic force in the community, meeting kids where they are, emotionally, mentally, and physically, and providing the support they need most, whether it's on the field, in the classroom, or through one-on-one mentorship. Noel ensures that every young person is seen, heard, and given a chance to thrive. His unwavering commitment has shaped Martin County PAL into a beacon of hope and opportunity, equipped at-risk youth with the tools to rise above adversity and build meaningful, successful futures. You can find out more about Martin County PAL at martincountypal.org. Noel, thank you for coming back. This is your second time here. You're a reoffender, or is that a cool thing to say with the thing that you do at Martin County PAL?
Yeah, for sure. In this instance, I think it's definitely okay to say that. Listen, I really appreciate you having us back on again. I'm excited about this. So much has changed since the last time we spoke. It's almost been a year. And, thankfully, we are blessed to be able to provide help and support to the youth here in Martin County.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's get to the meat of this thing first, and then we can chat. The reason for you being here, you have a big event coming up that you want to make people aware of.
We do. We have the Jeep Riddle Run coming up September 20th. It's an amazing event. We have a bunch of stops throughout Martin County. So we start on the south end of Martin County, and we move all the way up to the north end of Martin County. And we really partner with local businesses to help them as well. So we're exposing people to everything that Martin County has to offer, but also we're supporting local businesses by making every one of those a stop along the way. We've got great clues for riddles, prizes at the end, and we always end at a local brewery, and we have a good time there at the after party.
Very good. So is it easy to get business support in your area?
It really is. I mean, when you start talking to local business owners and telling them you're going to be bringing 100+ people to their establishment in one day,
right?
They pretty much there's usually a wait.
That's really cool. So
yeah, it's really good to be able to support local businesses, and it helps us as well as an organization to raise funds for our programming for the kids.
Yeah, I was just going to ask. Now, this is a fundraiser, correct?
Yes, 100%. We have so many programs here in the county that we offer the youth, and this is just a great way for us to get additional funds to support those programs. That way we can continue to change the lives of youth.
Now, the youth that are involved with Martin County PAL, are these just general youth? Are they troubled youth? All of the above?
It is all of the above. So we have a couple of diversion programs that we work here with the local District 19th Court. So we do a anti-tobacco program with the courts, and then we also do an intervention program with the youth who get civil citations. So both of those programs are drug and opioid prevention awareness programs, coupled with our mentorship program, and we have tremendous success with that. Our recidivism rate for 5 years in a row is 0% still.
Wow.
Knock on wood. So we definitely keep the repeat offenders very, very low. We get these kids back on track and on the way to go. And then we also serve the regular general population with all of our programs. We have so many unique programs here at PAL. to entice the kids to get into our organization. And that allows us to really pour into them and mentor them. And we use the same mentorship leadership principle program that we do in all our diversion program, of course, across all of our sports, from boxing to soccer, drumline, and golf. All of those kids still get the same leadership lessons too, because just because they haven't made a mistake doesn't mean they need those values and principles in their lives. I mean, every youth needs those values and principles so they can grow up to be healthy, productive leaders of the future.
Was there any concern about putting the general youth and the ones that have had issues together, maybe making the good ones go bad?
So what happens is that the kids that come from us in the court system have to do our mentorship program first. And then the mentors in that program decide at what point in time we push them and suggest that they join other programs. Because the goal is to get those kids who are sanctioned to be here to become regular PAL kids and right into the regular program. So that's how we start, because we don't like taking a kid that was fighting in school and then throwing it in our boxing program and making this situation even worse, right?
Right.
So
yeah, that's a great idea. I can well imagine that that's something that you guys had to think through, because you didn't want to make it worse.
Yeah, in the beginning, early on, believe it or not, in the beginning, I was getting youth sent to me from the diversion program, but I never knew why. So
that makes it rough.
Yes, I would just throw them in the boxing program, and then some of the deputies that were working with me was like, "Hey, what's that kid doing in boxing?" They're like, "He just beat somebody up at school last week." I'm like, "Oh, well, I didn't know that." So, was
it because they were youth and they didn't want to give you the information? The court system didn't want to give you the information. Was that the issue?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's our fault for not asking in the beginning. I mean, we were new at this. Everything was
obviously,
new for us.
Yeah.
And, after that, so now every time we get a referral, we know exactly what happened. And we don't get the details, but at least we get to know, was it drug use? Was it skipping school? Was it getting into a fight? Like a generality, so that we know, okay, this is what we're dealing with. Because it's kind of hard for the mentors and the volunteers that are doing that mentoring to really connect with the youth if we don't know what happened.
Right. And it's not like they won't lie to you. I'm sure they're embarrassed anyway. So yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's really, really cool. And the reason I was asking about the fundraising and about the kids, I didn't want to make any assumptions. I remember from our last conversation that I thought I did anyway, that there was some troubled youth involved. So my point was going to be, this is really good for the local businesses, because these are local kids, I'm assuming. So yes, it's going to be better for the businesses not to have to deal with these kids themselves. Hopefully they will know how to act in the community and in their businesses whenever they frequent them. So it really is a great idea for businesses to get involved, because it helps the whole community out, including them.
Yeah, 100%. And you know what's even better is we develop these partnership with these businesses as we go on through these years. And as our PAL kids move further along in their lives and they start graduating high school and they're looking for jobs and career paths, we can start aligning them with the right people. So, the kids that want to get in construction, we've got those relationships. The kids that want to get into welding, we got those relationships. The plumbers, just even in retail, manufacturing, we've got a lot of auto industry partners here in the county that work with us. And it's great to be able to push them there. We've got the wrap company that does the wraps on cars. So he's got graphic design people he needs. So it's really great to have all those resources, so that when we start to get to know these kids and find out what career path they want to take, it's like, oh, I have somebody that might be able to, get you started on that path.
Mm-hmm. So obviously you guys have to go to the businesses and enlist their support for fundraisers and other things that go on. How do you pitch it to them? I mean, they probably know you now, but I would imagine initially, how do you pitch it? Oh, we're making kids better. Give us some money. I mean, I would think it has to be more detailed than that.
Yeah, I mean, initially for this particular instance, for the Jeep Run, it's like, hey, can I bring 100 people into your business on Saturday to spend money?
It sells itself, yeah.
It sells pretty quick. But in general, the biggest thing is, we work with at-risk youth kids. So it's our job to get these kids back on track to being productive citizens of our community, right? Because they are going to be the next leaders. So if we invest in them now, we have to spend less money later.
Oh, yeah.
For instance, last year we had 228 kids come through our diversion program. So those 228 kids, if they were to go to a juvenile detention facility, it's $1,000 a day
Oh,
for
good
juvenile
God.
detention. $1,000 a day.
I
And if
need to
you
open
run
up a business
right,
for a detention facility.
yeah, and if you run the math out, it's almost $10 million a year for those kids that we've kept out of that system. So we're saving tax dollar money right here with what we do every day with youth. And those are just the diversion kids. Now, any one of the kids in the regular mainstream at PAL are one decision away from being an at-risk youth, right? In the system. I mean, that's what it comes down to. Most of the kids that get in trouble, they just made one bad decision.
Right.
It's changed their life, but they've made one bad decision. And even as adults, we still make bad decisions
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
every day. So it's our job to give them the second chance, to put them back on track, to get them moving. So when we start talking about those numbers to supporters, they're like, wow, that's a pretty significant change. Like, I want to be a part of that. I want to help support your cause.
I guess you can throw out that 0% recidivism figure, which is amazing, really, especially when you're teaching a kid something. Kids don't want to do what they're told.
Yeah, it is a big deal. And then we also have to always talk about the misconception that we are run, supported, and funded by local government.
I was just going to ask you about that. So nothing at all. It's all.
No. So most police athletic leagues throughout the country, I think we're one of 5 that are not actually run through the government agency. So they're still nonprofits through the government agency, but most of their staff is deputies, police officers from the local law enforcement agency. We don't have that here at our PAL. We are a standalone, silo that works. We are partnered with the sheriff's department. So I think we have like 6 or 8 deputies that volunteer here at PAL, but they're volunteering their time. They're not on the clock working at PAL, our
Right.
PAL.
Right.
So that makes a big difference. So that's always something that we have to get across the finish line with people to understand, because, a lot of people is like, oh, that's PAL. They're fine. They're funded by the government, but we're not, so everything we do strictly comes from the hustle, the information delivery of all of what we do to these people to say, okay, yeah, that's something I want to support. And that's something I want to get on board with.
So I would think that here in the last few years, money must have been difficult with high interest rates. High interest rates, but the inflation. I would imagine several people that you could depend on for income for the organization have had to say no, or maybe given less.
Yeah, we got hit with the recent federal grant cuts, that were just happening with the new administration.
The Doge thing, is it that part of it?
Yeah. So one of our entities there got cut, and that was a pretty significant blow to what we did. And it was just something that we had to pivot, and I was able to raise those funds, believe it or not, through other means and private philanthropy and private foundations. So I was able to pick up that loss. So we were able to manage the budget and get that back to where it was supposed to be.
Great.
So there are, there's always hiccups in what we do, and there's always challenges with funding. But if you've got the good cause and you're really delivering outcomes for what you're doing, I think we will always have that support.
Well, you have to believe in what you're doing and ooze that to people so that they'll understand that's an important thing to be a part of. So I was just thinking how difficult a job this must be, and I know it's a job, and not all jobs are perfect, but not only do you have to take care of the kids and make sure that they get the attention and everything they need, you also have to worry about raising money so that you can do the main job. And
right.
I can well imagine some days are like, oh God, why is this so hard?
I've really been blessed, and I don't really think of this one. I mean, I started this PAL from scratch. So I did work the first 2 years here at PAL for no salary or anything. I was fortunate enough that my wife was able to, support the family and everything. So this is not my job. This is my life and my legacy. So I don't really think of this as a job when I get up every single day. And yes, there are challenges when it comes up. I mean, when you have a large budget to run this organization and there's people that work for you that depend on you for their
Oh, that's
life,
scary. Yeah, that's scary stuff.
every single day I get up and it's like, okay, I got to start again. I have to hustle brand new again every single day. So if you have $1 million budget every single year, I've got to raise that $45,000 to $60,000 every single month. Like I get up every day and it's like, oh my gosh, here we go again. Here we go again. Here we go again.
Mhm.
And you just got to stay ahead of the curve. And we run a very lean organization, and we have reserves now as well because we've been very stewards of our money and the money that comes into our organization to make sure that we have a lasting effect and we're not going to go belly up because we're, misappropriating funds or anything like that. We run a very, very tight ship here. Last year, we served 600 kids, and the average cost per kid per year was $1,350.
I'm really surprised that local government isn't helping out because you're saving them money. You're
Correct.
saving the state, the county, everything money. And
Yeah.
so we know it's Martin County PAL, but what city and state is this in?
So we're in Florida, and the closest city would be Stewart, Florida, within Martin County. And we also have the village of Indiantown, which is in Martin County as well. So that's a rural area that sits about 25, 30 miles from our current location here. And we just opened up a boxing gym there last month. So now we're serving at-risk youth in a rural density area. And let me tell you what, those kids need it a lot. We're really making an impact out there now. And so that's really made a significant difference. And, it'd be great to get local community support and everything. But me personally, I just don't feel comfortable using tax dollar money.
Well, somebody can tell you what to do, can't they? If they start giving you money.
Yeah, there's always strings attached.
Yeah.
Even with philanthropy, there's still strings attached. I mean,
Right.
we have donors that give us money. It's like, oh, by the way, could you do this?
Yeah.
So, it's okay. But, we have strong beliefs. We have strong values here, both myself and with our board of directors. And we really stay true to those things. And we make sure that the money comes in, aligns with those core values and those morals that we have here, and the people we partner with as well.
All right. So let's go back to the event that you have coming up in September. What exactly? Because I want to sell it to people, like how they can help out if they can. How would somebody that wants to help out, that they're in your area, or maybe they want to travel to your area, how could they help out in this event? What would they do to be a part of it?
Right. So there's lots of opportunities. We have sponsorship opportunities. Again, every stop is a sponsor. So the business pays a sponsor fee to become a stop to bring all those people to their event. And, we always cross promote the sponsors through social media. We'll go out there and do some reels for them for social media. The biggest one
who
is
who are the people that are showing up? Are they people that have paid and they're in a Jeep, or these are just okay?
Yeah, so I think the buy-in's $25 per Jeep, as many people as you can fit in your Jeep. So it's a cheap buy-in. We're not looking for much, but we have raffle tickets and things like that to help support and raise more money along the way. But it's a great event. I mean, last year we're in Martin County, so we had people from Vero and we had people as far south as Fort Lauderdale coming up to us. So we're starting to get some reach, and the couple of Jeep clubs in Miami are interested in bringing their whole crew up this year. So we're starting to get some reach and some traction in this.
Good.
Because it's become a fun day, and it's also like a family day. So, you can bring the whole family and have a great time at it. And, you know how it is when all the Jeepers get together. It's a Jeep thing, and it's exciting and it's fun. And, the send off and all the Jeeps lined up going down the street at one time when they leave the first stop. It's great to watch. It's a good fun time.
Oh, it's a show for the community too, to see so many Jeeps together.
Right.
Where's this parade going type thing.
Yeah.
So what's the speed? I mean, a real Jeeper will drive topless at any speed, but is this like a 30, 45 mile an hour trek to these places, or you would topless would be fine?
Yeah, we don't do it like a typical Jeep run. So we start in the south. So we have the first 3 stops in the south we give them where they are. And then after that, all the addresses and locations are random. So we kind of just let everybody go because it's hard to send 60 Jeeps to one business.
I think it would be cool though, and you could get the local TV station involved. You know,
it would be cool, but I think the sheriff would be calling me. He's like, "Hey, why is the traffic all screwed up over there on Dixie Highway?" And I'm like, "I don't know.
We're making money, dude. Leave us alone."
Yeah, so I think it's better that way, especially some of the stops are like restaurants and like little 1,300 square foot mom and pop places that just wouldn't be able to handle that kind of a load. So that's why we split it up last year, and it worked out really well. When
have you had an issue with not doing it this way in the past? Where you?
Oh yeah. The first stop was a breakfast place, and we literally everybody went there as the first stop, and the guy's like, "What are you doing? My restaurant's packed," and you just threw.
You're
75
welcome.
people walked in the front. Yeah, right. You're welcome. And meanwhile, they're all looking for that clue. So they're trashing the restaurant trying to find a clue while people are eating, like stepping over people, looking at other people's plates. Like,
oh, that can't be true. Jeepers aren't rude.
Yeah, there's no way. Yeah, sitting down with random people at the table, eating their bacon. It was what could go wrong?
Yeah, exactly. Well, this is really interesting. So this really sounds like a fun thing to do, and I would imagine it's open to anybody that wants to travel to the event. When is the event again?
September 20th.
September 20th. Is that a Saturday, a Sunday?
Yep,
Saturday?
A Saturday. We roll out at 9 a.m. and typically we're at the after party having some beers by like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm. What's the best breakfast place to go to?
We have so many, but we always
that's the right answer, because when people are paying to be a part of this thing, you don't want to pick one over the other.
Yeah, for sure. I got to watch what I say.
Well, this really sounds cool. Now, for the kids, I would assume, is there any kind of borderline for what kids can be involved with Martin County PAL? I mean, obviously you don't want to put them on a bus and they have to ride 45 minutes to get over there, but I would imagine that anybody is welcome to come to the facilities.
Oh yeah, for sure. We have a wider range of programs, and our age range is 8 to 17 years old. So yeah, it doesn't matter who it is and what your background is or anything. We don't care. We take them one and we take them all. And we really pour into these kids. Our mentorship is the key to what we do. Once we get into these kids and let them know how powerful they really could be if they just applied themselves, the transformation is just incredible. And we're teaching them core values of simple humanity, right? What it's like just to be a human and care for other humans the same way you would care for yourself. Oh, and by the way, I need to work on myself every single day so I make myself the best version of myself I could possibly be. Because that ripples across to your siblings, to your parents, to their friends, to your friends, to the community, to the state, to the world. So that's what we're really trying to do, is create that ripple effect where we're changing one kid's life, but then within a year, that's doubled and tripled.
Sure. I can well imagine, and I'm not trying to talk bad about parents, but the kids are having problems for a reason. I can well imagine that there are probably some of these kids that you're teaching are going back home, and at least through their actions and their way of doing things have changed. It actually teaches the parents or a parent something better about how they should act.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we see it all the time. That was the foundation to our leadership program when I started it 6 years ago. Is I just started it on the whim, and I made our boxing kids do leadership. I'm like, hey, whatever. You guys are all doing this, whether you like it or not. And like after, it's a 16-week program, and after 8 weeks, some of the parents were coming back to me. It's like, hey, what are you doing with my kid? Because they're different. Things are changing. They're actually helping around the house and asking if I need help. And I'm like, I don't know. I guess this stuff's working, right?
Something is seriously wrong where your kid starts helping around the house.
Yeah.
It's not the norm.
Without looking for something in return.
Right.
Yeah. So, once you get to that point in the game, that's when you're like, okay, yeah, things are really going the way they're supposed to be. And that's what's remarkable about what we do. And that's what
it's going to make you feel really, really good when parents complain, my kid's different.
It fuels my soul. I mean, I have success stories of kids that were, pushing drugs at 13 years old and failing out of school who graduated with a 4.3 average. Mm-hmm. Like completely changed their lives. And we have a lot of kids now in our diversion program, court sanctioned, that finish their 16-week stint and say, hey, can I stay? And like mentor kids that come in, because I've been through the system and I know, and I can talk to them. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. So we're building this like mentorship bench of kids and that happens in all our programs. So in leadership, it happens. We have boxing kids that help with the little kids that come in. We have high schoolers that are teaching our drumline program. We have high schoolers that are doing our soccer program. So that ripple effect is already starting to happen right here, like boots on the ground here at PAL.
So I'm familiar with soccer. What is drumline?
So drumline is exactly what it sounds like. So if you would imagine a high school band.
Okay, I was wondering if it was a musical instrument.
Yeah, so it would be the drum portion only. So strictly just drums. And these kids we start that program in January and we run through May. And we just finished up on Memorial Day where all of our drumline kids went to an assisted living facility and performed for the vets.
You can't sleep with drums going on.
And they're loud. So everybody in the assisted living facility was able to hear us. So it was good.
That's funny. So how did you get connected with the court system? Because I would imagine there's a relatively high bar for you guys to be to actually have these kids sent to you, because the court system doesn't want to make it worse.
Yeah, it's we're fortunate enough here that there is a diversion program for youth within our court system here in Martin County. And we have great support from our local county commissioners. And one of the county commissioners happened to put her children through our leadership program. And she was the first one to come to me and says, I don't know what you're doing with my kids, but they're changing. And like, how can we expose this program to more kids? And
that's wonderful. I mean, you got to love hearing about that.
Yeah. And then one thing led to another. And here we are 6 years later, and we're just going gangbusters. I mean, we just picked up, I think, 16 more kids in the diversion program. Not that that's a good thing, but these kids didn't really do anything wrong. They were just. It is a
good thing because there's a potential of them having help. Whereas if it wasn't there, you wouldn't be. So if you weren't there, they're just too bad, too sad. The parents and the kids are on their own. So it is a good thing.
And then 2 years ago, we started in the schools with the school district because we have a mobile unit. We have this giant, if you would imagine the FedEx truck coming to your house, that big giant box truck, we converted one of those into a mobile gym. So there's a full boxing set up inside, and there's pull-up bars on the outside, and we have weights and battle ropes and everything. So now we're working with the schools to work with their level 2 diversion kids as well. So all the kids are having disciplinary issue. They are sanctioning them to come to our mobile PAL unit. So we drive to the school during the school day, and the school counselors take those said kids and send them out to our unit. We let them burn some steam and some gas off, and the stress level goes away, the anxiety goes away, and then we start giving them our leadership lessons. So that has had tremendous success in the schools, and next year we are in all the elementary schools and all the middle schools. So we are building a second mobile unit to meet the demand that we're getting from the schools as well.
So I would think that a FedEx-like box truck would be a little strange to pull up to a school and the kids looking at that going, wait a minute, am I being taken to the woods? Are you dropping me off something? Because it seems a little unusual. I mean, I'm sure they know about it ahead of time, but still, I'd be questioning it. And what kind of looks and what kind of questions do you guys get? I would imagine they're kind of slow to start and like, okay, let's see.
But if you would see this box truck, this thing is fitted out. I mean, this is tricked out to the nine.
It doesn't still say FedEx on the side?
It has an incredible wrap on it. It has 18 speaker sound system. We've got the flashing undercarriage light. We've got rock lights on the bottom. We got rock lights on the inside. I mean, this thing's booming. And then we come out and we're outside the school. So the kids come out like, hey,
with the music and stuff, I would imagine that brings more kids out there to see what the hell's going on.
Yeah, they love it. They absolutely love it because, they get to release that pressure because school is demanding, right?
It's so damn boring too.
Sit down, don't move, and listen to learn this boring stuff, right? And if you're one of those kids that's having trouble with that, right, and you're in a disciplinary issue kid, that kid needs that outlet during the day. So we're giving them that outlet where they can burn that steam off, get their aggressions out, and then, hey, listen to this leadership lesson. Maybe it's not sinking in today, but one day you're going to have to make a choice, and you're going to remember what you learned today, and you're going to make the right choice.
So this hit me. Do you guys have any kind of religious component to when you're talking to the kids? Do you go into religion at all, or is that something you stay away from?
We don't. I mean, I've been toying and it's been pulling at my heartstrings for a while to add a religious component to it, but you know how that gets.
It can be so sensitive depending on what how people feel and think.
Very sensitive thing, and I'm sure when it's supposed to happen, it'll happen, and it'll happen the right way. But right now, it's not a part of it.
So you're not preaching to them basically, because that would kind of be my concern. Because I think it's a good thing. This might be personally, but I can see how that would turn some people off and maybe cause you some political issues.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I mean, all of our leadership lessons, honestly, they're all faith-based anyhow.
Yeah. It all goes back to that, even if you don't call it that.
It all goes back to the core of everything. So I'm not going to go any deeper than that, but we're teaching these kids, self-discipline, resilience, self-worth, forgiveness,
respect for others.
Yeah, it's that simple. Value yourself first as much as you possibly can, and then you will immediately start valuing everybody around you. It really comes down to that. And then when you go to make a choice, think about your values, make that choice, and also, how can I help other people? Like, that's the big thing. We're teaching these kids, like, you got to help yourself first.
Right.
You have to make yourself the best version of you as possible, right? Learn every day. Be inquisitive. Try to learn from other people. Surround yourself with people that are better than you so that you can get to their bar and their level. And then once you get to their level, find a new group of people that are going to challenge you even more, and just keep raising that bar every single day. And if you did that for 52 weeks, at the end of the year, you're going to be a different person.
Sure.
And
you're going to be a little more proud of yourself too. Your self-respect is going to go higher. And I think the self-respect goes up whenever they get attention from adults. So, and that's another component of what you guys are doing. Now you already mentioned that you have some people that become mentors for other kids that have gone through the program. And I think I remember you saying a lot of your staff is people that have been in the program.
Yeah. We've had, in the past, we've had my very first PAL kid. She became my first employee. So it was kind of crazy to see that. Here was a girl, I watched her grow up, watched her graduate high school. And, when I was looking for somebody to come in and help take some of the pressure off of me, she was the first person I hired. So that was just incredible to watch. And, even more so this year, when I saw my first PAL kid get his badge from the fire department, that was just it was mind blowing.
Yeah.
It really was mind blowing. And, the great part about that is when I was talking to the chief at the fire department, he said to me, he's like, I know that he was good caliber. Like, I don't have to vet this kid out. I already know he's good caliber. Like, I want him on my team because I know. And that was a kid that was with me for 7 years. And when he became an adult, he came back and was coaching. So he's been coaching here for another 4 years. So, when you look at that, it's like we're starting to create this bench, because I have 2 more kids in the works right now that are seeking the same career path. Mm-hmm. So one of them is going to finish fire school here pretty soon. So he's looking to get a job. And then my son, he starts EMT school in December. So he's following that same career path. We have other kids that are in the local City of Stewart Police Explorers program. So we have kids that are looking to get in law enforcement as well. So they're all getting that little touch here at PAL through our summer camp, which
I mean,
is happening.
and
right
really,
now.
they're all community service type jobs, which is neat.
Yeah. Yeah. So these are kids that are growing up growing up and working where they live. So that just pours more into our community as well. Because so many people, get a job and move out of the county, but these are kids that are, they grew up here. Now they're working here, and now they are providing a service to the community, and they're still volunteering their time to help those kids because they were one of those kids.
Right. They see the reason for it, how important it is to get like you do.
Yeah.
So, speaking of your staff, it dawns on me with all the things you're talking about that you guys do, and multiple boxing places, you must have a fairly sizable staff, or you got somebody on in a fast Jeep going to place.
Believe it or not, we still only have 4 people on staff.
Wow. My God.
Yeah, we only have 4 people on staff.
Well, you got volunteers, I would assume, though, to augment that.
Yeah, we have a tremendous amount of volunteers. We probably have 6 to 8 boxing coaches. We have 2 soccer coaches, 2 drumline coaches. We have a media program that just started, so we have a couple of coaches for that. So yeah, we've got a tremendous volunteer staff. Our mentors in our mentorship program, I think there's 8. Yeah, I think there's 8 mentors in that program, and those mentors those are the core. I mean, those are the ones working with those kids that need us the most, and they really love what they're doing. And they've been with PAL for like 3 years, some of them, and they were the guys that came in and said, "Hey, I want to come mentor kids, but I can only do it once a month." And they've been every single week for the past 3 years straight.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Well, they probably really, it's like, I think it's a lot like teaching somebody how to go off road, and they've never been off road, and you see that look on their face of like, wow, this is just amazing. I can well imagine that it's like that with the kids times 10.
Yeah, it's so rewarding when you see a kid's life change because of what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just incredible. I mean, there's so many parents that come to me at the end of the year. We always have an end of the year party for parents and kids, and I just feed them food, and we give them little stuff to take home at Christmas time. And you never know how many kids are going to show up, or families, because it's a free for all.
Right.
But last year we had like 200 kids, 200 people in here, families and parents, and when you're serving 600 kids, I don't get to see all 600 kids.
Right.
I just don't. I see a handful. And I had 3 moms at that dinner last year come to me and says, your program saved my kid's life. And I'm like, okay, check.
I would imagine it's hard not to tear up sometime.
It's listen, I've been doing this 8 years, and there isn't a speech where I'm not holding tears back. And it's not even a speech. It's just a testament of what's happened. Like, this kid's life changed, and this one's changed. And like the moms that come up to me and say, "You changed my kid's life." And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And like, even the mentors at the end of the year, you watch them cry when the kids come up, get an award. It's just, you can't put a price tag on the feeling that I get every single day doing what I do.
Yeah. It sounds wonderful. So I would imagine that you guys are not against taking donations. If somebody wanted to donate to martincountypal.org, could they go to the website and find a way, or do they need to call somebody?
100%. Yeah, there's a big button on the website that allows you to donate, and we're always looking for donations. You can do it weekly, you could do it monthly, you could do it one time, whatever you want to do. But for sure, I mean, especially when you think about it, it's only costing us $1,350 a year to support a kid. Not a lot of money.
Wow, I wish the public school system could do that,
Right, yeah. Especially when you look at how much a cup of coffee costs you every day.
Right. All right. So, is there anything else that you wanted to hit on before we wrap this up? It's been a great conversation, as it was last time. We talked about the event. Mention the date on the event again, please.
September 20th, and we start at 9:00.
Oh, and no Broncos accepted. It has to be Jeeps, right?
Jeeps only. I get that every year. Actually, 2 years ago, some lady wanted to put a Bronco. I'm like, you can't use a Bronco. And she's like, well, it identifies as a Jeep.
Oh yeah.
I almost let her in for that because that was so crafty. I'm like,
Yeah.
I might give you a pass.
Hey, that's what Ford was hoping. They want everybody to identify that Bronco as a Jeep. Let's not lie about it. And I give them a hard time, but it's not a problem. I did see somebody on TikTok recently complaining using the F word about getting ducked. Her Bronco getting ducked.
They're just jealous. They got nothing else.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
They don't have their own little shtick. That's all it is.
Have your Bronco. I don't care. But if a Jeeper is not going to have a Bronco because they're going to have a real off-road vehicle. You know, I coined the phrase. The Ford Bronco is their feature is they have independent front wheel steering, because whenever the tie rod breaks, the wheels go in. That kind of like do a pirouette.
Okay.
All right, man. Well, you know how the kids love the social media. How can they find? I'll mention it again. Martin County Pal, PAL. That's like a pal, a buddy. MartinCountyPal.org. And where can they find you on the social medias?
So on Instagram, it's Martin County Pal, and Facebook, it's the same thing, Martin County Pal. And my personal handle is Noel M. Delval. On social media, I'm on Instagram too. So all of them are all linked up, and you can always find us there. Check us out. Give us a follow. We've got a great social media presence as well.
Could you do me a favor, but before we do the next interview, change your name to Steve, so I'll be sure and be able to pronounce it properly, because I think I called you Noel.
That's okay.
Which I was going to say it probably happens. Yeah, probably happens your entire life.
Yeah, I don't even hear it anymore. At least you didn't break out in the song.
No, that'll never happen. I don't drink. All right. Well, Noel, just like Christmas, really good having you on here, and good luck on the event. And will there be anything? I would assume there's going to be some stuff online that people could view the event, stills, images, maybe live here and there on Facebook. Are you guys on Facebook? Did you mention Facebook?
Yeah, Facebook is the same. Martin County Pal. Yeah.
So
we're on LinkedIn too. Martin County Pal.
Very cool. So go over to martincountypal.org right now and donate. Is it any amount, or do you have set amounts, or
any amount?
Yeah, any amount.
Like I said, when it's only $13.50 a kid per year, even $20 makes a significant difference.
That is great. Thank you so much for being here today, and we'll have to have you back on. And anytime you want to come on, just let us know.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Broadcasting since 2010.
You're my friend. You're my new friend.